Hello everyone, in this lecture we will learn about class method which can modify the state of the class. Let's continue with the same program. Now I'll create first property of this class. So I'll set here rate of interest and I'll set here 11.5. Now this rate of interest belongs to this class, not the instance, because every account holder has the same rate of interest. So if I have to modify this one, I cannot use instance method. If I do, it will create a new variable in the instance and then assign that value. So it should be modified with the help of class method. So how to do that? Let's create here another method here. But to create a class method, we need a decorator. So we must specify the method I'm going to specify is a class method. So how to do that? Here you can see specify @ and write here class method. Now this is a decorator. We specify the method below this will be a class method. Now let's create a method here. Change rate of interest. Now see it carefully. When I use parentheses, it will create, instead of this self, it will use CLS. Here CLS class, and then new, or you can just specify the value here, right? So whatever value user will pass, I'll update here. But how to access this ROI? I'll not use self here because I cannot access that self here, right? So what we can do, we can use CLS here. CLS dot, you can see here, rate of interest. Now here we specify, we assign this new value here. So this is a class method and it can change all the properties of the class. See the parameter here, CLS, and new value. Now let's call this and print. So class and new value, and here is the class on the left side and new value. Now let's print this rate of interest. Again I can use class name dot rate of interest. It will be modified. Previous value is, you can see here, 11.5, and then it should be updated to 10.5. Let's run this, and here it is. Now one more important point here to understand, this self and this CLS class, these are standard, but we can always change it. For example, here I'll just use only C. So it's fine, it will work. But here that is not a best practice. So it can confuse other person who see the code. Well, we always write self. Similarly here, class here. Here also we don't have to always specify self. I can write anything here. Let's say ins instance shortcut. I can write here this. So no problem, it will work. But because it's a standard convention, we always use self and CLS, we must write that only. So self method we don't need any decorator. By default, this is in Python, when you create a class, the methods are instance method and it can change the state of the instance. And if you have to create class method, we must use decorator method here. Here you can see decorator class method. Below that, this method will become the class method and can modify this kind of properties, not these properties.